like more reds, that'd be good. One red on that. Ideally, another red gem on this, so we can put our a red socket on this, so we can put our 3 reds, nice. So we could put our some of the things we're trying to level in there. Gotta match the socket colors. Okay, good, 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 good. Perfect. We got some more now. We could just passively, you know, level while we're doing these runs. That was a Giga Shield, man. That was a nice shield. Nice shield. Okay, let's see if we can enchant lightning resist on anything, which is a suffix. And every item can have up to 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. So yeah, let's do that. Can you even add that stuff on weapon? I mean, this is such a temp weapon. I'm gonna throw it on here just so I don't, you know. Just for now. This does not. This already has 3 suffixes. That ain't happening. That one's already been enchanted. Uniques can't be enchanted, right? Am I understanding this correctly?
Thanks to Atrastrave for my sub gift. Can I get a birthday song since today is my birthday?
It is. You absolutely cannot. Go away. No, I'm just kidding. Roker man, thanks for the 16er. How old's your turn, dude? I just wish it was easier. Yeah. Do you follow Diablo easily when we played it, Yules? This fucking guy was complaining. I'd eat some surströmming or something. How was your turn, Roker man? I think you're right for gifting them that sub in the first place. 54% on lightning res out of what, like 80-ish that we can get. Okay, let's go again. Attempt number lost count. I think this is 9 coming up. 9. You turned 41. Fuck you, old dude. With pleasure, me lord.
Ascend with precision.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Oh, that's the wrong camera. Happy birthday, dude. Thanks for hanging out here for some of that. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, and I hope you've had a good day. Did you get anything good for your birthday? PoE will never be easier? No, it won't. I don't think they want it to be easier, though. We were talking about this yesterday. I mean, I don't think that... Wait, hold up. There's something else that's supposed to level here. I guess we could just buy the level 1 version. Molten Shell only goes to 10, right? Shield, sure, yeah. Molten Shell goes to 10. And cast when damage taken, support stays at 1. If I remember correctly. Yes, okay. So yeah, be careful where we're clicking. We were talking about this yesterday. It's like, I don't think PoE should get easier from a general perspective. But there's definitely some things that they can make, like, well, hold on, let me rephrase. PoE's niche and main player base and fans and whatever relish in its, like, depth and, like, level of craziness you can do and whatever, you know? So I don't like, I think moving away from that as a product is a bad idea, because you'll lose your core audience, right? That's what people that like this game like. Now, is there ways to make the game
Where there's a golden
more
key, there must be a golden door.
new player friendly, lower barrier to entry, etc., while still maintaining that level of depth and complexity for the people that want it throughout the game / later? Probably. There's also just a ton of things that have nothing to do with, like, level of complexity, etc. in this game that are just, like, kind of outdated. Need to be updated. Or combined in some way, or, you know, like,
Gold is the
There's probably a
most
bunch of
liberating
currencies that
of men.
don't need to exist, or they can double up on other currencies, etc. Probably a ton of systems that are like that too. Cast when damage taken. Support. This is the one we said we keep at level 1. Cast when damage taken. Support. So we right-click this. We don't want to level it. And now it won't show up again. Molten Shell goes to level 10. There's QL stuff that, oh, absolutely, there's just QL stuff this game needs. There's QL stuff that this game needs that is system independent too. This is one of the fucking worst UIs I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely terrible. I should be ashamed for not doing anything about it for 10 years. Those bastards. I was gonna say jokes aside, actually zero jokes aside, the UI is fucking terrible. And vastly needs attention. Aspirin's trial. Alright, give me that gem at level 1 and not push it to level 10, because this gem makes it so that it's trying to trigger a shield that pops up. So I assume leveling it increases the amount of damage threshold you can take before it triggers, which you don't want, because you want it to constantly trigger it. Responding to your question above, D4 is easy to follow because I played it myself. It was just speaking my mind, not complaining. As long as you're having fun, I'm happy. That's not a complaint, dude. You've created a discussion topic, and we're discussing it. That's all. Well, I'll ban you later anyways, it doesn't matter.
You are inexhaustible.
Oh, my point was more so PoE independent, right? I think you can say that about any game. Any game's easier to follow if you yourself are a fan of it or have played it. Now, PoE on top of it certainly has an insane amount of shit in it, and as a result makes it definitely tougher to follow, for sure. But, yeah. But I mean, that goes for everything. That's just the nature of streaming and people's interests. Right, that's just starts to link to that discussion that we've definitely had quite a few times of people that are only there for the game versus people that are there for the community versus kind of both sometimes. We go top right again. And even, and just like discussion of barrier to entry in this game, even just like the onboarding for this game with what like things do. I know they're working on that for PoE too. But like LE, like if you've played Last Epoch, and you've played Diablo 4, and you've played PoE, I don't think there's anyone that can disagree that LE absolutely destroys both games in terms of like onboarding and new player friendliness and explaining stuff and blah blah blah, and what works with what and whatever. And both games are starting to take notes from LE. I mean, even this past season, Diablo started adding stuff. In PoE 2, they said that they're adding, like, you know, info on tooltips when you ult and shit like that. If they already haven't, I think they did a bit. And I think, like, PoE seems, for the past 2 or 3 years, that they've realized how unapproachable their game is from a new player base, and they're trying to make it grow. At least from a semi-outside eye, semi-involved eye, it's what it felt like to me. And now they're really trying to nail the, like, getting more people to play their game thing. I look like I'm wearing like a racing helmet, like a motorcycle helmet. Dude, what transition? What are you doing? Get out of here. So my competition is good, yeah. I mean, like between all 3 games, like Diablo 4 by far, even despite all of its I'm like fairly confident I can say that by far, despite all of its issues and memes, and I mean it's gotten better, right? Like you can meme all you want, but D4 has certainly gotten better, and it will continue to get better than it was at launch. Has that brought some people back? Probably. Has that brought everyone back? Probably not. But say what you will, there's like almost no doubt in my mind that D4 by far has the biggest player base of all three games because of its, first of all, Blizzard. Second of all, just it's the systems are made to be so like dumb, right? So easy to understand, all the stats, all the systems, everything, that it's very easily approachable for the masses. PoE is the exact opposite. LE is somewhere in the middle. Although LE's onboarding is the best, it's certainly more complex than D4. No doubt, right? Aspirin's trial. Molten shell. Don't forget about Torchlight 2. I haven't played Torchlight series personally, so I have no comment on where along the totem pole that one lies, but yeah.
The Empire awaits you with open jaws.
Ellie, you didn't enjoy it all? Really? I think Ellie's my favorite of the three right now. Or at least up there.
Dead and loyalty.
Not so much slowing.
Delight in your gilded dungeon, Ascendant.
Okay. This is it, chat. The 9th attempt. Bro, what the fuck? Oh my god. Oh god, man. We're gonna spend all night doing this, aren't we? Come on, 1% chance. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen. That 1% chance is gonna come through, but it's gonna be the other transfiguration or whatever of last rate, the one we don't need. That's what's gonna happen.
Good tidings.
Oh well. Killing or bad. It's an enchantment to a utility class. I don't prove it, prevent it from gaining charges. Creates a fact, replace any existing enchantment. Okay.
Time and tide wait for no man.
I want to try this game out. Watching you have to follow as many guides and stuff is honestly daunting to me. I mean, there's just a lot in the game. Like, just a lot in the game. There's just almost infinite things to learn in this game. About how, all the different currencies, about how the systems work, about what talents work with what, the weapons, how the affixes and suffixes roll. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, the amount of shit that they've built in 10, 11 years. Is it hard to learn? No, it's not, like, literally difficult to learn. Like, it's not, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a lot of stuff, but it's not, you don't need, like, to be super smart to know it or anything. It's just, do you want to spend the time to do it, right? I do, because I like ARPGs a lot, so, I mean, this league I've probably learned more than any other league so far, which is good, but I'm still miles off of how much, you know, else there is. It's just, do you want to, it's like any other video game, right? Like, do you want to give that time investment to learn about the game and how it works? Even with Diablo 4, do you want to take the time to learn which skills interact with what and what kind of builds you can make and stuff, right? Okay. These wall traps, that's just slowing you down. That's up to you. This
Gold
one.
is the most liberating of metals.
Understands you can transfer your character from SSF to Trade League anytime you want. It's a one-way transfer. Nah, I like SSF, man. It is what it is. Like, we'll just farm and get it. There's something very satisfying to me about SSF. Just finding and making your own way, you know? Like, SSF hardcore to me is the most fun mode for these games. I know I'm not knowledgeable and good enough at PoE to do hardcore. I mean, our character would have died. Would have had to restart 2 or 3 times by now. For sure. So, a bunch of the deaths I've had so far are definitely preventable, and I know it. I was just being lazy about, like, capping lightning, but there have been some things that straight up I was like that monster I mentioned, that boss I mentioned yesterday that 2-shot me. Never seen that thing in my life. So I think until I learn PoE better and do, like, a full round of PoE, like kill the Ubers, some Ubers, etc. Which, who knows, maybe this will be the league. I'm enjoying it a lot so far, this league. Until then, I don't think I'll do HC PoE. Even though I'd like to. I don't know if we'll get to that point before PoE 2 comes out or not. Because with PoE 2, I would like to definitely be at that point where if you can make your own builds and, like, fundamentally understand what's good and what isn't.
Weary traveler draws close to
But in this league, I feel like I've grasped a lot more in this league in terms of how numbers work and why you want certain things and not. But, like, the skill tree, for instance, for me, the skill tree is still a big question mark. I have no fucking idea what the nodes are and what's good. Because I haven't taken the time to read it and learn. That is certainly still a, like, open up guide, click point, turn off brain, next step, you know?
What ambition.
Like, that's why I'm so adamant about taking time, like I was earlier with the wiki open, to learn about how bleed works, learn about how top end damage on weapons, why that matters for that, you know, like things like that. Because it also now, when I look at gear too, instead of going, hey guys, is this a good piece for my build? I go, oh, okay, I know this is I know this is bad. I know whatever, you know. I know what I'm looking for. Shield charge. Guess we're gonna go top right again. So it's just Molten Shell. We need to get to level 10 now, and everything else is unrestricted to 20. Sprint Trial Part 2. Everything I've read, the gem option you want is roughly 1 in 10 to 15. It's a 10% chance per run. 10 to 15% chance per run. Or no, less than that. 7 to 10% chance per run.
The effigy, one defiles the emperor.
I've been amazing at answering questions. I mean, I like when you guys ask questions, right? Just in general, like, it sucks. You know one of the hardest things in streaming is, chat? Aside for dealing with Millennium, is streaming when no one's talking. It's actually one of the hardest things in the world to fill dead space. Especially if you're like Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday. I was like really out of it. You guys weren't very chatty that day, and I hated it because it was just like segments of just like dead air. I was just playing the game. I was like, might as well not even be streaming. I'm just playing the game by myself, you know? That's one of the hardest things. So I love when you guys ask questions and stuff. Because it sparks discussion, right? And that's where I have to do my job of entertaining and talking about things, right? It's much easier if the Yols is like, man, this game is hard to watch, hard to learn, i.e. source swimming, you know, things like that. And then you start talking about it, and that one thing leads to another, and then somebody has input on that, and somebody else says, yeah, like starts to snowball a bunch of discussions, right? It's our fault. I'm not saying it's your fault, Chad. I'm just saying that's when it's tough, right? But if it's just like nobody's saying anything, and I'm like, so I had some ramen today, and you know, it's pretty cold here in Toronto today. And Kale's a big bear, and you know, things like that. Eventually, like, and then I get distracted by something in the game, and I don't know what's happening. Then I go zombie mode, especially when I had caffeine properly. anyways, basically what I'm saying is fuck horny. That's what this all comes down to, really. Okay, fuck this guy.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep
Yes,
those
Rastrave.
promises.
You may speak. Dead Space had a lot of good content. Remember when we started Dead Space 2 for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and never played it again? Should we just like pull the trigger on actual horror month? Well, not full horror month, but horror monthy stuff in October. There are some games I want to play for sure. I actually quite like Dead Space. I really like Dead Space 1. I thought the remake was absolutely fantastic as well. And I was enjoying the start of Dead Space 2. I forgot why we didn't finish it. I think we started playing it, wasn't that when Alan Wake was coming out or something? And I was like, oh, no time for this now. Do a full month? I don't want to do a full month because I like other video games too, but I'm down to do more than just like every like how. Okay, please. Okay. 10 down. Come on, 1% chains. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew this was gonna happen, man. We fucking rolled the 1% chance on the other one we didn't need. Oh my fucking god, dude. No way. Dude, I called this shit on the last run that this was gonna happen. Oh, man. Oh, so dumb. So for whoever doesn't understand how this works, basically, each gem has like, I don't know if there's more than 2, but this gem basically has 2 like special, for lack of a better term, like specialized versions of it, okay? And what we're doing right now is we're trying to get specifically one of those 2 specialized versions for our build. To get that roll chance, you need to run this trial that I've run literally 10 times now, okay? At the end of this run, you have like a 10-ish, apparently, 10-ish% chance for one of those affixes, one of those options in that the altar here, to basically automatically present you with both options for this gem for its 2 rare types.
This one instead
okay?
of the one you needed?
That's
it's
what
really
we're running
not
for,
that
because
hard.
if we get the guaranteed option, it goes, oh, well, here's the 2 special versions of this gem. Which one do you want? You take the one you want. We're done. What is always guaranteed at this altar is a presentation of 3 of these special gems of any of the gems of this type. Green gems, in this case. Dexterity. Which there's a fucking shit ton of. It's probably actually like a 2% chance, okay? And we just rolled the other specialization of the gem we don't need with that 1 or 2% chance. Fuck me, dude. I'm so angry. Okay. And I said that last run as a joke. I was like, you know what's going to happen, chat? We're going to have that rare roll for the one we don't need. I fucking jinxed myself, dude. So we go again. Fire and lightning res. Strength and int. Armor, max life, fire, cold, stun block recovery. Are we gonna need that for 77 int requirement? No, we kind of need our int for flame dash, otherwise we can't use it. So this is garbage. Is it worth 8% increased attack speed with axes, or do we want 10 strength and intelligence, 10 more lightning res? Fire res is already capped, and chance to block spell damage when we're not using a staff. It's probably worth taking this over the attack speed currently, I think. I mean, they're both shit, right? Well, it's gonna get something better soon, but that's Flame Dash, Frost Blink, and that we're freezing at level 1. Oh man. Kilted, man. Kilted, not tilted. No, I'm certainly tilted. Thank you, the Primer 15. How about 5 games? I usually do probably 2 or 3 for Horror Month, right? I mean, this past year we did, and we always traditionally play Little Nightmares too. Not that it's like a horror game per se. But. We did. What did we do? We did Alan Wake 2. I'm pretty sure we did another horror game as well, other than Alan Wake 2 this past October. God, fucking hell. I'm so mad. Should quit PoE and play something else. Let's go play D4.
The goddess is watching.
Yeah, that oil rig game that you gifted is 100% slotted for, well, at latest October. Still Wakes the Deep or whatever. So that one's for sure happening. Else you'll munch my testicles. I've heard basically nothing but good stuff about that game for what it's worth, so I'm actually excited about it. When's Tiny Rogues? What's Tiny Rogues? Oh, the video game.
Where there's a
Sunday.
golden key, there
What do you
must
need
be a
Sunday,
golden
Sloot?
door.
Fucking Pizza Hut didn't put a cup of marinara sauce with my breadsticks again. I don't think they like me. Oh, that sucks, dude. You don't have your own in-house marinara? What I say is, even if you got the other option you want for gems,
Gold is the most
you can still
liberating
fail.
of men.
Wait, it picks one of the two or presents you with both? I thought it just presents you with both options. You just choose one of the two that you want. Molten Shell, 7k. It picks one? Oh, dude, I'll be fucking livid. It doesn't select the right one again. Oops. Yeah, this way. Like, I mean, what is that? Like, how many... Are there only 2 transcended gem types of each gem? Yes. And there's how many green gems in the game? Like, roughly... like 50, probably? Not all of them.
The weary traveler draws close to the end of the path.
I mean, it's probably...
Slowness lends strength towards enemies.
Well, I think when we were reading that article, it said there's 148 transcended gems, right? If that's the case, let's assume that...
Stand the siege.
Let's assume that... what's it called? It's a pretty even split of blue,
You were
red,
born for this.
blue, red, and green.
Time
That means there's probably about 50 transcended green gems. So every time we do that roll, we have a 2% chance to get the gem we want. Times 3 slots. 2%, like each one of those 3 rolls is a 2% chance to get the gem we want. And we happen to 2% the one we don't need. So you get 3 times 2% per attempt. Unless you get the guaranteed one of the 2. Which in itself seems to be apparently about a 10% chance, according to Warnia. Those are the rough odds we're working with here to get what we need.